Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you how I made this three-piece dress dirndl kind of thing inspired by Belle from Beauty and the Beast's village dress. If you like this video, please push that like button and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I'm going to make more of these sewing tutorials as well as crafting videos. Cosplay videos. I already made one that's like a trailer where I show my Rick O'Connell costume. And I'm going to be making more of those. So do subscribe if you like that kind of stuff, and let's begin. So I made the dress in sort of like 1.5 days, but I could probably have made it in 1 day because it's super easy. It's just one skirt or two skirts in my case, and then a top, which is this. I'll show you. You'll see. But I got really distracted on the first day and did some other things, so it took a day and a half. I also made this dress about 2 months ago when I did 30 days, 30 characters thing, which is on my TikTok. I'll link my TikTok and my Instagram down in the description box if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, so I started out by making the skirt piece, and I wanted to make an underskirt or like a petticoat because I don't have one, and it gives more volume to the skirt or a dress. So I started out by cutting that out from a huge rectangle piece. It's a skirt pattern that I already have, and so I cut that first out of white cotton. It was from an old sheet that I had. So I started by cutting out the skirt part for the petticoat, and I did that, and then after that I did the same thing but with the blue fabric, which is the overskirt. So I like to cut all of my pattern pieces out first before I start pinning and sewing them. So after I had cut the skirt pieces for both the petticoat and the blue skirt, I then took my pattern for my corset, which is this reversible. You'll see there's a little blue here, but I'll get to that. So after I cut all the skirt pieces, I put my pattern on the blue fabric and I cut the top pieces out of that. The pattern for the top, the corset top, I sort of made myself a long time ago, so I don't remember how I did that. I think I like put it on top of a corset that I already have, or like a top like this that I already had, and then made the patterns out of that by constantly fitting it to myself, which is something I always do when I make something, alterations to a pattern or patterns that I make myself. I just remember to always fit it constantly to myself. I didn't fit this one constantly to myself because I did it so fast. I don't recommend doing that, actually. I mean, you could probably, because it's a pretty simple dress thingy, but I didn't fit it to myself, so this doesn't fit as well as I would like it to. I could go in and alter it, but I'm not going to because I'm lazy. The other one I made, because I made one before out of a stretchy sort of suit pants fabric from these suit pants that I had years ago when I dressed like a business lady, you know, like you do in your early 20s. But that fabric is a lot stretchier, so I think that's one of the reasons why it fits better. Also, I did fit it to myself constantly while making that corset top. I did it for like a piratey thing, but I actually love it and I wear it all the time in my everyday sort of wardrobe. I'll show you a picture here of that corset top. Anyways, I wanted to make it the same because that is reversible. It's used with two different fabrics, and I wanted to make this reversible as well because I don't wear blue as much, so I thought that might be a little bit, well, it's not wasteful. I did make a costume for a character, but I thought by making it This, on the other side, I would wear more because I wear more sort of natural toned colors, also predominantly black. But yeah, so I cut out the pattern pieces for the top, which is just 3. There's a back piece, 2 side pieces, and 2 front pieces. And then I cut it out of the blue fabric. Later I did cut it out of this fabric as well, which is just something I had lying around, but I didn't film that because of the time crunch. But yeah, so I cut out all the pieces, and then after that I started to pin the corset top together because it's more fun to sew than a big pieces of skirt, which is very tedious work. And out of the top pieces, I did sort of miss 2 because there are darts, 2 in the front and then 2 in the back, which you'll see. But I did forget sort of to cut the back piece, the darts in the back piece. So I just did that afterwards by laying the front piece on top of the back piece because they're virtually pretty similar in shapes. But yeah, the pattern that I did cut it out does have like a clasp. It's made to do a corset front, a lace front, or like a clasp front. I do prefer a clasp front because it's easier to take on and off. So whenever I do wearable pieces, sort of, I usually do them with a clasp. It's not as fancy, but it is faster to put on, in my opinion. I do have a corset one as well. I also want to say that I have no sewing education whatsoever. I have no training, nothing. I'm mostly self-taught. I started to sew with my grandmother in my teen years, and she sort of taught me how to sew, and then I've taken that and I've taken, you know, watching other people do it and listening and trying to learn through the internet. But no, I'm not professionally trained, so that anything I do, and probably why this top doesn't fit as well, is because I don't have any training, education in that. I'll do it eventually, I'll get trained, but for now it's just me basically improvising. And one of the keys when you do that, I find, is to constantly fit something to you. Just a general tip if you're also an untrained sewer like myself. Constantly fit it to yourself, or if you have a mannequin, constantly fit it to that. I do have a mannequin, but yeah. So after pinning all of the top pieces together and sew them together, I pinned the darts, which I fiddled with for a while just because I couldn't get it to look the way I knew it was supposed to look. It was late at this point. I mean, I am wearing my pajamas in this clip. But yeah, it took a while, but that's just a part of it, I think. You're supposed to constantly fiddle with it, make it fit right and look right, basically. But yeah, after that, I pinned the darts, sewed the darts. I just folded in the front piece where I'm gonna put the clasps for extra stability. Also, I don't want any raw edges sort of seeing out, so I just folded it in and sewed it up for the front piece. So after sewing the entire blue side of the top, all of the pieces together, the darts and the front sides, I did the same with the brown fabric, this side, and then I just put them right sides together and sewed along the edges. I sewed at the bottom as well as in the front. I then sewed most of like the arm pieces, and then realized I need to turn it inside out, and I can't because I sewed it up together, so I had to seam rip it up and sew it by hand, the parts that I missed. So for the skirt part, basically what I did there is I had these rectangle pieces that I just sewed together along the sides, and then after doing that, I hemmed the bottom line, and then I took the waistband, which I also cut out both of the fabrics. I took the waistband and I sewed it sort of like right sides together. So I gathered the top part of the skirt and then I sewed it to the waistband, right sides together, and then I folded the waistband over and sewed it back again so that it's neat. I did leave about 10 centimeters at the back of the panels so that I could put in a button at the top. I didn't sew the waistband completely together. I just sewed the pieces together and then I left one open so that I could put a button in, which I did. It looks messy because, again, I did it in a day and a half, sort of. I did that with the white skirt as well as the blue skirt. So the same principle for both of them. It's a pretty simple way to do a skirt, and it takes very little time. And then I hand sewed the button and the buttonhole the day after while eating breakfast. On both of the skirts, I sort of fitted them to me and then marked where I put the button and the buttonhole. It doesn't look great, so I'm not going to show you that. But if I did do it well, it would look nice, I think. The next day, I also sewed the clasps on the top, which are also hand stitched on. And yeah, that's the finished Jingle Village Belle dress. Belle Village Town dress? And yeah, this was a terrible tutorial. Please do everything I did, but better if you're gonna do this. But it's a pretty simple thing if you are interested in doing the Belle Village dress. Pretty simple, actually. And you can do it in a day if you're not easily distracted, as I am. Yeah. I hope you liked this video. Please do press that click on that like button and subscribe button if you do want to see more from me. Like I said, I'm going to do more tutorials. This was a terrible one, so I'll work on it in the future and make it better and better. I'm also going to I'll make it better. I'm also going to make other things like crafting videos, like I said, and sort of aesthetic videos. I want to make more trailers, which is the one I already have of Rick O'Connell. It is poorly made and is my first ever YouTube video, so watch it with that in mind if you want to watch it. But I am planning to make more videos like that, and I hope you enjoyed and that it was helpful some way or fun. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you here with some aesthetic footage of me in the Belle dress, and have a lovely day. Bye!